way. But that leads me into today's police departments, and not just our area, maybe even back to some of the larger areas. I see a lot of officers handcuffed in what they can do. And I'm mostly talking about the bigger cities, but I know that'll trickle down to us eventually. Do you think that this will cause people to not choose law enforcement as a career? And if you do you think their decision is justified either way, whether they do choose it or not? And I'm more concerned about when you start to defund and make those choices that much harder for an officer.
Well, the attitude I think that goes along with defunding the police is one that concerns me, because it's not only defunding the police, it's not supporting the police. I mean, you can't. That's the movement that it gave birth from, was we're not going to support the police, we're going to defund the police. We don't need the police. The police are a problem. The police are not a problem. I mean, do we have bad apples in our profession? Every profession does, and so does police. We're not exempt from that. But as a whole, do we do our best, I think, at trying to eliminate those people from our profession? I think we do. With all the initial stuff that we do in testing and everything else on the front end. But we can't predict every behavior that somebody may develop into. We do our initial screening, but again, people change, people grow, and they do things, they make decisions sometimes that are against the profession, as any profession. But to isolate police and say that because of a few we want to punish the whole is never the correct answer.
Right.
So I think, but yeah, I think because of what we've gone through in the last couple of years, most recently, we've seen, even in Ossian, we had an open position for 2 years that we just can't fill. Not that I haven't had the opportunity to, but the people that are applying haven't met our standards.
I see.
And for whatever reason, I mean, we go through a rigorous whole background check and standards that we have to maintain, and testing and this and that, physical agility, as well as educational things we have to meet up to. We've had some borderline people that I could have made some exceptions to, but I chose to keep our standards. Now that has put us on a short schedule for us, and a lot of us have put in a lot of overtime just to keep things where we need them. But at the same time, we don't want to compromise either. So that's been my choice to make, and I think it's the right choice, because you don't want to start cutting corners and compromising your standards just to fill a position.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll wait for